or not.
Nah. Have you ever seen a roo kick? Have you ever seen an emu run under the bright Aussie skies and said this year we'll be the one? Oi, oi, oi! What does it mean to be a part of a footy team? It's more than a game. The footy's in our veins. It's time to go. It's the Northern Footy Show. Get out of our way. We wanna see them play.
All right, guys, welcome to the Northern Footy Show. Thanks for tuning in. Big night of footy tonight, and we have a special guest, which we'll get to shortly. It's fair to say that we're going to run out of alcohol if we go over an hour. That's probably my intro. Now, you're probably wondering what the hell is Daz wearing this ridiculous top four. But last week, boys, we made some problems. Before I do that, let's start with you, KB. Welcome back. We're going to allow you to come. He's a week-by-week contract, Dale. That's all we can offer him. But welcome back, KB. Tell me about you today, because we promoted the Parade boys. And what's Ricky Dyson done today? Has he got another premiership? Or
It wasn't a great win because it was always...
Did he win a flag, KB?
We won a flag today.
Right.
Done it easy.
What's the score?
I think it was a bit 90 to 25 or something like that.
Were you happy with Max's performance today?
Oh, Max played on one of the potential draft choices, and I think the kid had one kick and one handball.
All right, so Max should get drafted. If his last name wasn't Brown, he'd probably be a chance.
I think there's a huge chance if I wasn't part of the show.
Yeah. That's tough. All right.
Louis Hanson was absolute special, the hound dog,
which
I call him. Louis Hanson is probably going to get drafted next year by a mile. Bottom age, got best on ground. Absolute special play today.
Now, JK, you guys had a week off last week with the bye. You're looking very fresh. No parents' dinner tonight.
No parents' dinner. I'm ready to go. They're happy with the return. Well, they weren't happy with it, but they're happy for me to continue the return.
Are you in love this week? Are you?
No dates this week.
No dates this week.
Yeah, well, Tinder's gone a bit light this week.
We're going to bring up Tinder later.
I'm
not. We've got a couple of stories about Tinder coming up shortly. Now, before we get to Dale, I'm going to play a quick clip because I'm going to talk about how the hell we got in this position for me to have to wear this bloody top. Here we go. This was on last week's show.
All right, so Panton Hill versus Diamond Creek. Diamond Creek, 92 points.
The old
Paul Melody. This is a training drill.
Dymo 60.
Dymo 60.
I got the same 60 points.
60 points.
Well, that didn't go too well because the Great Panton Hill got up by a point over Diamond Creek, and I've heard every excuse of why they won and players were in and players were out. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So I've donned on a redback for a day, and the scarf's up behind us.
Yeah, seen that as well.
Express delivery to my door.
Yeah,
good set.
I was told that my little take last week aged like off milk. So not too well. Away from all that, so we're Panton Hill crazy tonight. Let me introduce our guest, Dale Bugsy Byrne, Heidelberg royalty, and we understand he probably should have a crown on sitting there. Dale, welcome to the show.
That's true. Thanks, Darren. Thanks for having us on.
We're pretty happy to have you on. This is going to be a night of comedy, let me tell you.
Actually, royalty? I wouldn't go that far.
You wouldn't go royalty?
No.
Well, let's get straight to one point, right? So two things I'm told, Dale, is you were a far better footballer than KB.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you want me to actually throw out my beard?
We know you won't do that.
Yeah, KB was a bit of a yapper and not real good at football, and he talks it up a bit now. But
maybe I'm really sitting between them two.
Covered.
Dale could not do torps. Here come the comments.
Is that Ryan Smith?
This comes up. It is Ryan Smith. The comments will come.
Right, I understand.
Fast.
The fans hated him.
I'm going to try and turn this in case we need to see it during the game. But so Dale, thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. We haven't had a Heidelberg guest other than the coach on before. Now, let me give the bio before we get into all the questions. He's club captain from 96 to 99. chairman of selectors from 2004 to 2008. May have visited the tribunal once and twice. Dale, how many weeks did you get in your career?
I think about 25 or 26. I think.
Yep. Any truth to the rumour that someone took weeks for you once?
Yes, I think they did.
I know. Played 280 games, kicked more goals than our own Kevin Brown. And have a record that we've said on our lineup we would ask you purely on the show. And the question was, do you have a better record than Booney on the beers?
I've been known to have a few extra drinks after the footy games. So, yeah, I reckon I beat Booney by about maybe 4 or 5.
That's 52. We're not talking about West Coast callers.
56.
We're actually talking about beers.
Yeah.
You went on beer.
That's a big effort.
I was telling the other day,
It was a recovery session after the game.
So we've already got a couple coming in. Cooper Winterbank says, hasn't KB been drinking since 9 a.m.? I don't think that's true, Cooper. It was
Cooper, go back in the cloud.
8 a.m., mate, 8 a.m. And well done, Cooper, today. He played today, did he?
Nah, Cooper unfortunately didn't play. He should be in the team. I would have picked him, but yeah, Cooper's a legend.
All right, well done. Well, it's a long season now. KB has got some questions for you, unfortunately, and we can't control him, Dale. He's like the uncontrollable.
No, that's all right. I did say I'll answer him.
It depends on how long I've got, right?
Not long.
The question everyone wants to know, does the cap work? Heidelberg are actually killing us.
Straight into it. No ifs,
no ifs, no buts.
Well, yeah, I reckon it does work if it's paid to all the clubs pay it. But are you saying Heidelberg pays over? No, I wouldn't think
no
so.
doubt, no doubt.
No, they don't pay over. I just think we focus on our points, and as long as our points are under,
We're only playing on 36 on average, 40 a week.
Well, that's the question I was going to ask. Does the point system work? Because obviously the point system doesn't work because Heidelberg have done a formula where it's sensational.
But that would be where it works, though. It's working for them, mate.
When the point system was introduced, we got a quantum mechanic mathematician in to work it out. We're going to
What was that? That's gone beyond us.
I think his name was Wim Wam Soon. So anyhow, he
Did you win one too?
yeah.
You're on false.
How long was the point system been?
A long time.
10 years.
Yeah, probably 10, 12 years. Yes.
So we sort of knew back then this is what you got to do to move forward, and we've sort of developed that.
Well, you don't have a points problem. That's the truth.
No.
There isn't a points problem at Heidelberg, right? You get
There's
guys
20 players
like Sammy Gilmore last year, 1 pointer, comes back in. You do seem to retain players as long as anyone.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this off air before. Would you agree, JK, that's relevant to people wanting to be part of a successful club?
You want to be part of a successful club, but I think the thing for now is like there's so many good players missing out playing the twos. Like there's a lot of talent.
There is a lot of talent in the twos, but at the end of the day, you got to be in that top 22 to get a game. Now, Sam Gilmore, you're saying, so he come to Heidelberg, he achieved 3 or 4 flags, a few comp medals.
Amazing guy.
He's now back at Heidelberg as a 1 point.
Where he belongs.
He wants to be there, and he's actually coaches the under-17 juniors. So all these guys are just coming back and putting in.
Yep.
And this has been Heidelberg's sort of idea right from the start. You know, once a Heidelberg boy, you're always a Heidelberg boy.
Yeah.
So, and they're always wanting to come back because it's like a big family. And I think the culture has now created where Heidelberg wants to be, and every other club's jealous of it, but they all sit there and think we're paying out.
It's a powerhouse.
We're not paying for it. It's actually just somewhere where the kids want to be.
Yeah.
So going back to, we'll say 1998 when you were supposed captain.
Surprise, I was captain.
Well, Ryan Smith doesn't think you're captain. Ryan, can you please answer that?
Ryan just got I think. But,
you couldn't actually win many games back then, could you? But now,
no, 98 we won games. I remember 98 we played Bundoora, and I think we gave us a flogging at Yulong Reserve actually.
There's no need to bring Bundoora.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
It was on top of the ladder. Yeah.
No, and I think things started turning, and it wasn't. No, we just got some people involved in the club who are businessmen who sort of said,
smart.
No, I can't. No.
I'd say Trevor Barrett. Then you got Timmy Wilson and stuff like that. That obviously great business people.
Yeah. So, but we had a culture of the club where, like, even today, there's 20 people on the committee. 10 of them are past players. There's 10 past players on the committee.
That's great.
A lot of it twos players, senior players. So it just everyone just keeps coming back and putting in. So no one really, as I said, once you're a burger boy, you're always a burger boy.
Yeah.
So that's where it goes. So yeah, Trevor gave us give us the lead.
I thought Trevor was inspirational. It'd be good.
Mate, Trevor was a smart man.
Trevor, if you're listening right now, come across the road to Heidelberg West and start taking over.
Aren't you a Bundoora boy?
Who?
You.
Not anymore.
On anyone.
Oh,
I've been 13 clubs.
He had Fitzroy Stars.
Dale, let me ask you a question. I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago with another business-minded person that I think that if you don't have a business-minded person in your club, you're in big trouble.
Yeah,
You're in
that's
big trouble.
100%. Yep. So everyone basically involved in the committee who are past players are all business owners. Yes, we've had some good business people involved in it. And if you don't have that sort of foresight, to sort of, we're running clubs who are turning over, I don't know, a couple 100,000 a year plus.
Yep, for sure.
Look, it's got to be run as a business, and at the same time, it's got to be run as a footy club. So you sort of clashing between a lot of young people and businesses. So we look after all these kids, and the business people sit there and do their stuff. And I
wouldn't say you look after the kids. I wouldn't say you look after the kids.
Yeah, we do.
I'll go to my next question. Is there any contracted players down
there? No.
Which means you might get $1 whether you win, lose, or draw.
There's no win-loss sort of thing back in our days, mate, like it was back in our days, that's for sure. Every
You wouldn't have
player...
made much money, would you?
No, I didn't. I remember every time they come to pay us 6 weeks, they sit there and say, you owe us some money. And I go, what's that for? The bar bill?
The bar.
Yeah. So I've never really got a cent. So, but yeah, look, there's no contracted players, but players are basically wanting to play there.
Yeah, and why wouldn't
and
you?
they just, you got a coaching staff of Vinny, Jade Shepherd, Fab Corelli, Paul Honey.
Yeah.
Well, there's about $100,000.
Not letting go.
Seriously, with those blokes.
But they're
South Rocker.
They're from what, Resi Lakeside and West Preston.
But they wouldn't be doing it for nothing, would they? So
they're
I reckon there's a good thing to be had out of this. If you've been part of successful premiership sides and you're desiring to climb to that VFL ladder, either as a line coach or a centre coach, whatever it is, or even in a business capacity, if you're part of a successful club, you're going to get looked at a lot better than
100%.
if you were at the bottom of the ladder club.
Totally.
So I think there are people. None of us get paid except for KB. Did you notice you got a sponsor tonight, JK?
Yeah,
I had to wear this tonight.
First person to get a sponsor.
What I wear it for? Because the Hurstbridge boys weren't very happy with me, so I thought I've got to let them know
Take up some boxing lessons.
I was the Golden Gloves champion under 12s.
Yeah.
I was 35 when I won it.
I don't reckon he's saying much in his life.
I'm not one that connected. You see, we've changed the name of the show tonight to KB and Friends, the Northern Footy Show. Under request. Look, I actually think he's doing a fantastic job, and I'm glad you come on because it dispels the rumours of overpayment and paying $400,000 a year and all these sort of things.
Doesn't happen.
I think that sort of stuff is going to come with success anyway.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to be people looking to drag you down, like when you're up and
Of
about.
course,
So
that's
I mean,
footy.
it's going to happen regardless.
That's footy. Your biggest four rival clubs, who would they be?
Yeah, well, I call them the top four. You've got your Greensboro, your Monty, Bundoora, and I suppose Heidelberg, and North Heidelberg to an extent. But those,
Did she?
well, I'm talking
You've
big.
been nice.
I'm just saying the big
Over
four
the
clubs
time.
in Division One.
Yeah.
Division One over 30 years, right?
Yeah.
They're the big four, right? Mate, two of them are struggling for one reason or another. Bundoora, because they've got no juniors, struggling big time, and Greensboro, I heard, are sort of not travelling too well.
It was a 1 point game last week.
Yeah, 1 point game. So, this is where I sort of think to create a healthy competition. Heidelberg's behind the scenes have actually reached out to a few clubs.
Have they?
Yeah.
Good.
Tell them to reach out to Epping.
Yeah, like we want a healthy competition.
Yeah.
Is it good for everyone to watch Heidelberg win by 10 goals? I reckon no, it's not.
Boring as bad shit.
Yeah, but Heidelberg hasn't dropped. Heidelberg hasn't changed.
It's
They've
not
always been the
Heidelberg's
same.
fault, though.
I think everyone's dropped off.
Oh, there's
They've
no
managed their club fantastically. There's no doubt about that.
excellent. I always say, on and off the field, run so well.
Yeah.
Off the field, they run professionally. Max used to train down there Thursday nights. You go in there's 150 people.
Yeah.
So many old players, so many community blokes. They all run so well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we've got sponsors. We use our sponsors. We make it mandatory for guys. I think we get sponsored by a car. Yeah, you buy a car, you buy it from them.
Yep.
And we have a thing on the deck every Saturday. It's called From the Spaducci Brothers, where they come down.
Oh, wow.
From
$50 in it.
$50. You come down, have all your drinks. They just cook all this meat all day. You got 200 people there.
That's amazing.
$50, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, so and it's a bit of a social event.
Smart.
So yeah.
I actually didn't go when Bundoora played there. I went and watched my young bloke play basketball to try and share the love. But I do love getting down there, and I'm a big Vinny fan. We interviewed Vinny last year. He was fantastic. Now, we're going to come back to you in a second, Dale, because we're going to try and break this up into a couple of things. Now, we're going to have a time limit on this, but before we get into your young gun, KB, we're just going to quickly bring up, guys, how do you know when you've made it? How do you know when you're famous? What's the theory here? How do you know you've reached your pinnacle of where you're going to be? Would you think it's views?
I'd say
we're doing 1.2 mil views a month. No dramas. I think we've had 200,000 this month. When you get your first Lego set done for you, I think is when you know you've made it. And so this was done by Scott Ditcham, Ripper guy. I had a problem with this. Why am I the fattest bloke here? This is the opportunity to skinny me. You look like you're 4 years old. Okay.
I'm more worried about the fact that you're 7'3",
and I'm standing.
You're sitting in my booster seat.
That is actually funny. Well done, Scott Ditcham. The other thing we did this week is we put out who do you want in the dunk tank. Now
That couldn't be me.
Mate, there are no votes for anybody. No, we're not going to double the money for Dale.
It has to be Elmsy, wouldn't it?
I reckon Sean Fitzpatrick might throw one of these at you. It's even up, but you got every single vote, KB. Now, the hardest decision we're going to have this week is where to host it. Are we going to host it at Hurstbridge? Because I'll make about 700,000 people.
Hurstbridge are really loving me right now.
Tyrone, I love $1,000 worth of balls. Already he's put the money up. There's no lack of boys, and most clubs would be happy to do it. But so what we're going to do is we're trying to get hold of a sponsor now. The tank's $400. If anyone out there wants to have your name plastered all over here, and you put up $400, we're going to send the tank down to a club. We'll do a bit of a profile. They might get down to Epping. There's no lack of people there. Doro might want to.
They're actually pretty happy with him after Heidelberg West game.
Are they?
Yeah.
There's a quick one.
They were pretty happy with him. With you. They were happy with you after the game. So
we're pretty keen to do that. Quick shout out. Our good mate, number one fan of the show, Peter Dawson's in hospital having something done. I think it's penis enlargement.
I think it is, yeah. He's in there. I think he's actually.
No, exactly.
His son sent something back, right? I think it's a reassignment, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but he's in there. He's
Paul Pete.
He's fantastic. Few comments here. Now, apparently you had a good record on the Scotch and Coke style. Murdered the odd Scotch and Coke.
He was talking about the beers, 32 beers.
Start on the
Jack into you. He said he spoke to you earlier on the phone today and he could smell your VB through the phone.
Come on, Cooper.
Ryan Smith says Dale sounds smart, which is rare as rocking horse shit. And Darren Collins has chimed in. KB looks older every show. Might want to start using some moisturiser. You notice how we don't get any crap anymore? We've diverted. Now, last Sunday was our best result. We had 124,000 views on the reports last Sunday, on the match reports, which is great, which means they're working. And then I copped a bit of flack about not doing anything with the under-19s. And the truth is, guys, there's one of me. The show takes up about 30 hours of my outside time a week. I'm doing my best.
Bit of give and take, I reckon.
But if any under-19s person wants to become a little special guest on the show each week, or a retired 19s
But can we do
person,
a special segment then?
Yeah, we can do it via Zoom. We can dial in and get that going. Ashley Fellows Kempy, I'm not sure what that means exactly, but is there a...
Martin Kemp.
Martin Kemp, right. What happened there? Do I need to ask?
Ashley Fellows.
Yeah.
Come on, Ash, give it to us.
Yeah, you better give us a bit of goss there.
Marty Bacardi.
Before we get to the first round, which we go through, which Dale's tips are going to supersede Kev's this week. Not doing Kev today. I've had enough of his 40-minute answers. But what we're going to do is you've got a young gun to spit out. You've got two tonight. There's no brownies bullshit, whatever the program's called. So tonight you're doing young gun. Give it to us. Who's first?
Get the photo up.
Yeah, just who's
Zane Silverman. Big Zane Silverman from North Hollywood.
All right, here he is. There's the big fella.
Nickname's Cogs. He's a hard running midfielder that can go up forward and can go back. He can also kick goals. Against South Marines, kicked the goal after the siren. He was an absolute superstar.
Yeah, absolutely. 20
years of age, 183 centimetres, 85 kilos, and bench presses 90 kilos. Come on, Zane. A bit bigger than that. Max does about 105. Current club, North Heidelberg. He come from Mill Park and Yarranbot. He's made his senior debut at 17. He's had a total of about 35 games. His position's midfield, forward. I actually reckon he can play wherever he wants to play, Zane. Any bad injuries? I don't think he's had any bad injuries right now. How I'd describe him, explosive player that can go forward, backwards, many contests. He played on Nash Holmes a few years ago, and I reckon he had to take Nash and done pretty well on Nash Holmes. So, Zane, you're a pretty good player. I'd like to see you on ball rather than in the forward line. Highest level attained, he played Northern Knights. I think he got the flick after a while. Played in the Basher Hooley Academy. And I think he got the flick from that too, Zane. So where are you going from here, mate? Aspirations. His aspirations to play AFL football. He wants to be an absolute superstar, and his aspirations is to go further.
He's on the way.
Greatest influence is Brent Harvey. Probably because Brent Harvey was down one of the coaches down there. Superstitions. He reckons talent doesn't work without hard work. Pre-game match routine. So his old man tells me is toast and fruits. I'm not sure about that. Mine was egg and bacon hamburger.
Yours was a can and an egg and bacon burger.
I had a few cans before I played.
It looked like it.
He's equivalent these days. He reckons he's more of a Jamie Elliott, and his chill-house time is just gaming. All these kids just gaming.
Good on him, mate.
Saying you're a superstar.
Great football.
Keep the work going. North Heidelberg. You're playing good football and just keep on going. Parker Heatley's back, so you've actually moved up the field. I reckon you should move down and kick many goals. That's me.
There's take number one of the night. All right, so a couple of comments before we get into the first game, and then we'll do one round, and then we'll come back for a few more questions. So apparently, this is all related from Ashley Fellows to the dunk tank. I'm not sure what's that relevant is. You guys might know. Footy Banners, definitely a big sponsor behind us. Fantastic. And Max Pratt, Sam Papagiannis, did I pronounce that correctly? Papagiannis?
Yeah, Papagiannis. That's Nick's.
Yes, his daughter's a gun footballer too, isn't
Gracie,
she?
yes,
star.
Yeah.
So Max Pratt, rising star, he said, and we'll get to that.
They're actually pulling the piss there.
Are they?
Maxi Pratt. A long way to go, Maxi Pratt. Take the piss.
So what we do here, we'll go to Division 1 first, and you're taking over from the numbnuts tonight. So you've got to give me points. He gives me goals. I'm not good at maths.
I'll give you points.
So give me points, and you got to pick the winner and the points. All right. So the first one is 6 versus 4th. We're in Div 1. Greensy's taking on Hurstbridge at home. Who do you pick there, mate?
Hurstbridge, mate. I'll go Hurstbridge by 36 points.
Okay, I've got them by 21. Hursty, and what do you got, JK?
30 points.
30 points. Hursty, that's a no-brainer. 5th versus 1st, my old club, North Heidelberg, taking on Heidelberg away at the Kennel. I've got Heidelberg by 44 points, which I promised Casey I wouldn't tip against them, but how do you not? And what do you got for me, Dale?
I've got, obviously, Heidelberg, but I think by a smaller margin. They might have a bit of North West going on.
Right.
Double check them, you can.
Heidelberg by 24 points.
24 points, and JK?
I think North Heidelberg got a lot better than round one. I'll say
100.
Yeah, 100 plus was a bad one. I'll say 30 points as well. I reckon they'll go all right.
That's actually pretty good. Now, while we're on Heidelberg, last week I made a bet with Dale, which is what got him to the show. So it was actually a smart bet. It was the cheapest guess we've had on. But that $50, which I've got the $50 right.
Oh, here we go.
I'm ready to hand the 50 over to
You want the pineapple way?
But the catch is, Dale, before you take the 50, I actually still think you'll get rolled in the grand final. You want to double or nothing?
Double or nothing for 100, mate.
Double or nothing.
This is mental.
Double or nothing.
That's funny.
Hursty on the back.
It's a late aim was there. Heidelberg win the flag.
I spoke to Baz at North Heidelberg. He said they were with you the whole way, and then he thought, I'm just going to mess with them a little bit. We'll build their confidence, let them get a few more goals. Grand final day, we'll go smash. I'm prepared to double up on that advice. All right, continue on. Elson v Bundura, 7th versus 10th on the ladder. Now, I've tipped Bundura every week for 2 years, right? And they're not getting a win, so I'm just going to put down it's my fault. I'm going to go TD by a point. I've never done it, and I'm hoping my jinx gets
Yeah,
Well, I'm going TD by a point. So what do you got for me, Dale?
Eltham, mate. Eltham by about 6 goals, mate.
Oh, 36.
36 points.
All
I'm
right.
not used to doing. I know I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm
So
actually
you couldn't
gonna-
help yourself.
Well, I can't help myself. I reckon right now, Eltham are struggling. I reckon Bunter is going to sneak a winning.
Are you all right?
I'm going with
His
Eltham.
temperature.
Can you not just say that? Because all the Bundoora people don't like me at the moment because I back against you. But Bundoora this week win by 2 goals.
2
Interesting.
goals, 12 points. What do you got, Jake?
I'm going the other way. I think after Eltham's lost to Meringue, I reckon they come out and they're gonna smack us. I reckon 48 points.
48 points. Oh, jeepers, that's a big one. All right, now West Preston 8th versus South Meringue 9th. I'm going to tell you,
How exciting!
I'm very impressed by them. Very.
What an exciting game.
I'm impressed by South Meringue.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, at home, they're a 4-goal better side. I can't say who I spoke to because I'm not allowed to speak to certain club people, but I spoke to someone at another club and said that win down there is bloody hard to kick 100%. Against, and they've got it nailed.
Yeah, 100%.
And that was the difference on the weekend in the points. But I've got South Meringue get home by 7 away. Is it a VFL buy round? Someone told me today it's a VFL buy round. Don't know. If it is, it means they get back.
Could be Lachlan Wilson.
Cal Packers and JD.
Let me ask you.
Do West get a few back too then?
Yeah, I think everyone might get a few back. So, all right, what do you got for me, Dale?
I reckon South Meringue actually at home. South Meringue push Heidelberg a long way, so I'm really impressed with them, and they're having a good crack at it. So.
You're starting to sound like KB. Give me a number.
South Meringue by 20.
20. All right, very good. What do you got, Jake?
I think this is a big game than you're making out. If South win this, Bundy
100%
cooked. So
you know I don't comment on.
I know, and that's why I'm saying it. I'm going with this is massive. Obviously Bundy have to beat Eltham. I don't think they will.
No.
South have to beat West Preston, and I think they will by 1 point.
By one
point.
So you
JD go after the siren.
You say if South win and Bundy,
all over.
It's
and
over.
And South have just come off a win. And they've just they win their first game. They're going to be up on.
I'm not going to watch my car for the rest of the year now because
Anyway,
all right. Well, now are you going to put a punt in on this one because you've chimed in late? Come on, Sandra Sully. What do you got for me?
it's a non-fact. I don't care.
Montmorency 2nd versus Banyule 3rd. Played at Montmorency. I've got Monty getting home by 17 points over the Bears. Yeah, I thought you were shutting up.
How good are Monty since I put the acid on him?
All right, let's go. What have you got for me?
I've got Monty by 18 points.
Monty by 18. Now I have heard they're one of your favourite sides.
No, I've got a lot of good friends at Monty, but I don't like them too.
Right, how's the phone calls going? All right, so now JK, what do you got for me?
25 points.
25 points. All
I
right.
just got one in as well. Dale's on the heavies. Watch out, KB, and he throws lefts.
Yes, you said Preston have the bye. Yes, well done.
Thanks for that. So
Preston have
JD's
the
not
bye.
kicking
So that's
no
good.
winning goal.
That means Bundoora should get back Greeny and should get back Jorgensen. And we already have Liam Kohler against Eltham, so that could be
Do they get anyone back?
Eltham, unfortunately, I think they had a couple of injuries
And
on the
that's why I
weekend. One of
picked
the boys done their ACL, might have been the
As JK said, there's a couple of big games, isn't there?
Yeah, no, there's some
that are gonna
huge games
determine
coming.
who's
Yeah,
who's
massive.
on the night.
Jules Dinter-Sante, big fan of Jules. She's always on our show looking at them. She's very proud of those South boys, no doubt. They are doing
They
a good
deserve
job.
it. Yep.
The kid's not a bad player either.
Grace, the star footballer, not a VFL buy. You are correct. And Callum Smith says, kiss that pineapple away. You want some of that action? Callum, no, actually, don't. There's no more action. No more action. And then Grace has got stuck into me, rolled in the GF, please. You might be right, but it's worth getting him back on because I won't invite him back then. I don't have to give him the 100. So another pineapple
You'll get it.
one here. All right, now, KB sucks. That's just our normal one. Kirby Bell, get him off.
Grouse Kirby.
Now, back to you, Dale. Go back to your interview here. Have you got any more questions for him?
No, I've got a series at the end. Right at the end.
Right. Well, do you want to give us our second young gun? That's the end of Division 1.
Lukey Casa.
All right, give me Lukey Casa.
Photo.
Mate, I'm going to clip you in a minute, right? You don't tell me how to run the show over here.
I can't see you though. You gotta...
I think he did that on purpose.
Oh, put the wrong player. All right, there he is.
Lukey Casa, nickname Cass, type of player. He reckons he's a high half forward, gets up the ground. I reckon you're a forward pocket that kicks many, many goals. Today you were absolutely beautiful. You kicked 3 goals, 3, Lukey.
Good on you, Lukey.
Absolute special play today. Should have kicked 5.
He's a star.
He's 17 years of age. Height 169. Lukey, can you grow?
In high heels.
Mate, he's an absolute. He's a midget. 70 kilos. Should be 65.
His dad's still 70 kilos too.
Current club, Hurstbridge. Absolute special player at Hurstbridge. So other clubs played him in Division 2. Obviously, Hurstbridge recruited him, or I think he went to Yarra.
He was a Yarra.
Yeah. But then the MOU put him in a Hurstbridge. Good player. Played about, I think he's played every senior game this year, apart from when he's done his ankle. Senior debut at 17. He's a 1-pointer right now because of the MOU. Position, half forward, I'd say forward pocket, Luke. Favourite position, half forward. Any bad injuries? None at this stage. Hardest opponent, this is very, very rare. Jackson Davies. Jackson Davies, 6'3", playing on a bloke 5'3".
Yeah.
Come on, Jacko.
Punched him in the shins.
His highest level attained, this is so surprising. He's only played Division 1 footy. I don't know how the Northern Knights haven't picked him up.
Is that right? He's not a Knights kid.
He's never even had a trial.
Really?
That's
unbelievable.
His aspirations play highest level of footy for as long as possible. And
Good boy.
That's team orientated. Hurstbridge, keep the bloke. Sign him up for the next 10 years.
Yeah, 100%.
Greatest influence, the sponsor, Wayno.
Yes, he sponsors the show, Wayne. He sponsors Hurstbridge and he gives so much back to local footy. Wayne Cassar, legend. Pre-game
routine. No wonder why he's 70 kilos. 3 egg and bacons, toast. He just keeps on eating, and he has 3 litres of water pre-game on a Saturday night.
What's this 6 cans of VB?
No, he's never. That could be tonight after. That could be tonight after the victory. His AFL hero is Eddie Betts. His chill out time. Play some video games, kids. Get off the video games.
That's what they do now. What are you doing? Stabbing someone in a parking lot?
Go to the can and get better.
Run through.
And that's Lukey Cassar.
We're pretty happy with you, mate. You're a star. Gav Mutt says his dad wasn't too bad either, and he's 100% right. All the Papagiannises are on here. Reeve Feely, is it? Next Rising Star had a ripper on the weekend.
Reeve Feely's an absolute special player.
Okay, well, you
got a second the under 12s.
Yeah, he's just not
Scotty Bannister's happy with Gary Collins. And g'day Brownie and Dazzler. G'day Scotty. Even though you bypassed me, you didn't even wave at me in the car when you drove past me, Benno. All right, now let's get into Division 2. Wait, Benno, I'll tell you what, you got to come on the show. You've played in the Legends match. You'll have to come on.
Shut him up.
What is only a conflict with you?
Yeah,
We're thinking about Dale, before we start Division 2, who's the hardest player you ever played on?
Darren Sleeth.
I was going to say, if you said Kev Brown, we're going to throw him through the window.
Darren Sleeth.
He wouldn't play on me. He wasn't good enough.
No, Kevin, he was on the ball, so I was generally rucked.
Darren Sleeth was tough, man.
Yeah, he was.
Did he give you one?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Who did he play for?
Laylaw.
Okay.
Darren Sleeth, Laylaw. I think I was
Gavin Mutz will tell us whether he was any good or not, for sure.
Yeah, hard man.
Yeah, really.
Knocked me out, I think, the first quarter, and then as I was knocked out, I think he kept punching me up.
Yeah. The fact that you got 28 weeks tells me you might have given one back.
What deserved it.
All right, let's jump into Division 2. Eltham Collegians, 10th last.
Hold up. That's Div 3, mate.
Div 3. Oh, shit. I'm not going too well here, are
No, you're right.
Put them back to front. This is what happens when you try to. Diamond Creek versus McLeod, 1v2 at the Creek.
Match of the round.
Creek need to bounce back. I'm going the upset here. I'm going McLeod by a point.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, look, I don't know if it's an upset anymore. I'm calling it just McLeod win.
McLeod, how many?
Yeah.
And I reckon they're favourites now to win the flag.
Ooh,
7 points. McLeod.
7 points. Very good.
Where's
Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with Dymo, mate. Definitely by about 12 points. I reckon.
All right, 12 points. You chiming in, Pee Wee, or you're right?
If they play Cooper and win the back, they might win, but they haven't played a senior game, so go Donna.
And he has cheap shots this
Yeah,
He's definitely shopping a go load up in the day. All right, 8th versus 5th, Thomastown versus Lower Plenty, who are 5th. I've got the Bears by 17 points.
Which Bears, mate?
Oh, that's a good point. Lower Plenty. Good pickup. Well done, JK. Dale, what do you got for me?
I've got lower by 10 points.
10 points.
Now, look, I said last week that if Tomo lost, they'd get relegated. They won, and I reckon Lower have fallen off here, so Tomo by a point.
Tomo by a point.
Yeah.
You're the only one tipping Tomo.
Yeah.
All right, very good. I've seen the Hayes boys ripped it up last week, so back in the winners list. 7th versus 4th. Panton Hill, my side.
Yeah, well,
I'm certainly not tipping against them this week. 7th versus 4. I've gone Panton Hill. Sorry, they're playing St Mary's at Panton Hill. So it's going to be -7. I've got Panton Hill by 3 points.
I'm going to take the Saints by 9 points, actually.
By 9?
Yep.
Shout out to Jakey Jewett, 16-year-old who debuted on the weekend, kicked 3 goals.
excellent.
Love it.
Yeah,
Can you put in for the young guns?
I was going to
You
go
can
in.
nominate.
I was going to nominate, but obviously, if I nominate to you, there's an extra 20 minutes I've got to be in. But honestly, no. Panton Hill did a pretty cool thing. They got Jewett's pocket, did a bit of a banner there on the fence, so he kicked a goal from there to win in the game, which is awesome.
What a
So
winner.
shout out to them. In saying that, all the positivity, St Mary's by 10.
God, you're starting to see a lot bloody over there.
Well, mate, I've just got to give the props where it's due, you know.
All right, Old Paradians 9th. They're playing at home at Garvey Arville, and I'll be running there for the 19s in the morning, so I'll be nice and fresh. There
Won't
goes
be
the
quick.
hamstring. Won't be quick. They're more of a hover now. Versus 6 being Northcote Park. I've got the Northcote Park boys getting the job done by 21 points. Stale.
Yeah, I agree with that, Darren. Northcote by 20 points.
20 points and JK.
I'm going to say 40 to obviously Northcote, but with the way the ladder looks right now, percentage is a huge thing.
So where are we?
They're 9th, and they are 10% lower than Watsonia. So if Watsonia win, they jump, which is huge. So
Right, okay.
the losses, they
So what
really.
you were saying, old OPs are in
They're
strife.
no, I don't know about strife because I don't know if Watsonia can win another game. But
Benny-
if they do,
Benny Turner, I hope you're listening. Put your finger out,
if
mate.
they do win another one, Watsonia, OPs are in strife.
Right.
It was a bad loss on the weekend to Tomo. It wasn't a close game either. They beat them by 40 points.
I
so.
think Watsonia's got a pretty good run home.
Well,
So-
I mean, they've got to play every side above them, don't they?
Yeah,
So it's going to be
well,
tough.
Good on you, Einstein.
Well, yeah, I think there's a bit in that.
Well, let's
It's gonna-
get to that
it's gonna be a
next
battle.
one. Watsonia 10th playing Whittlesea 3rd. This is a no-brainer. I've got Whittlesea by 63, and that's probably Kindale.
Yeah, Whittlesea by 80, thanks.
80 and JK,
Yeah, 65.
65. All right. There's a couple of comments here. Grant King says, ask Dale about Heidelberg's young gun, Jack Andrew. What can you tell me about Jack Dale?
Look, he's a brother of Kieran. Jack, he's come through the juniors.
Oh,
look,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Monty Cricketers?
Yeah, he's he's just a kid that's he's a bit like a little bull. So anyhow, he's finding his feet, and mate, he's an absolute jet. So
Yeah, great.
yeah, Grant knows all the young blokes, probably not as well as I do, but
He's a ripping guy.
He's only about Grant King. Come on, King.
Gavin Mutt says confirmed Sleethy was an absolute superstar. Craig Smith says Eddie Betts was a gun on the weekend. I think he kicked 4 on the weekend. Six.
6 goals, 5.
Clearly, they're getting the games up for him to play finals. He has to play 4, doesn't he, to
Sorry,
qualify?
I didn't.
3, and he's played against Layla and the Turtles, so
Yeah.
it's smart.
Yeah. All right. So he's not breaking his balls there, so that's all right. Then you've got, what do we got here? Bugsy, the weekend hustler from Stephen Gleeson.
Weekend hustler.
well, that was a horse. Actually, a mate of mine had the horse Weekend Hustler.
Right,
I
okay.
don't know about
I don't think he's talking about that. I think he's talking about the tunnel or the down under or something like that.
I did the best work after the game.
Shift football, I see that.
Darren Westbury wants to see Dano in the thing. There's no way I'm getting in that thing. Maury, the greatest umpire of all time. Craig is by 15 points. And Gavin Mutzer, yes, the late, great Barry Riss, son-in-law Darren Sleeth.
Yeah.
Okay, Mutzy's a legend. Haven't seen too many pictures with the Northern Footy Show T-shirt on, but let's not get hung up on that. What's going on with the red hair? Dale tints his red hair.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Is that Ryan
It
again?
doesn't look too red. That's Ryan Smith again.
Ryan,
Tell Ryan Smith to get back into rehab. This is my natural hair colour.
So why do they call you Bugsy? Someone wants to know. Shannon Cleary wants to know why they call you Dale Bugsy.
From years ago, from a motorbike rider called Dale Buggins. So
Right.
some people think it was because it was from rabbits copulating, but it was more from Dale. Yeah, it was more from Dale Buggins, the motorbike rider. I used to jump all the kids in the street. It's
Right.
become Dale Buggins, Bugsy, stuck forever.
Wow. Oh, that's better than it could be, I suppose.
Yeah,
you can live with
100%.
that. All right, that's Divvy 2. KB, you need to go back to the big fella, mate. Finish your line of questioning off. Now, if you've got anything to add tonight, feel free. KB's taken over. I'm just his assistant.
I'm a bit of a bystander. I don't mind it. I've got a little bit for Div 3, though. So
Okay, you are the Div 3 expert.
That's it. That's what I'm here for.
No doubt about that. What have you got for us, Kev? Get into it.
It's right.
Now, you told him you're going to go hard on him.
I've got two things.
You're soft.
Bomber Keenan from Montmorency pays 3
Oh, yes.
We haven't even mentioned Bomber Keenan. What an absolute special player he's been.
No, better than me. Look, we've got a photo up or something. Would have
Oh,
been great.
yes.
I actually seen down the Paul Spoon on a Friday night.
I got that off the northern side.
Yeah.
Now, I ran into a bloke on the weekend, Christian Evans from Munda against our game.
Good little player.
I mouthed off to him.
What a shock.
Did I make a dick of myself?
No.
Again,
In the third quarter, I said, Christian, he was mouthing off, sooking, ragging, just being an absolute whacker. I said, why don't you get a kick? He's turned around and goes, KB, I've already had 25. Can I get another 25? He put me in my place in 2 seconds. Christian, I apologise for mouthing off to you, but you didn't get 25. We're not talking about warm-ups, buddy. So, yeah, 25 in the warm-up.
How long have you been on this show now? How many shows have you been on?
Oh, no, 3, 4,
Right, now
5.
listen to me, right? Listen to me. Listen. Dickhead, the camera's there. There's no use looking at the computer. The camera's there.
The camera's there.
I'm starting to show him what's up there.
His hat's pointing to me, and the camera's there. And
I don't have
I'm not the Billy Brownless of Triple M on a dickhead.
Billy's got you covered, I think. Billy,
I've got 20 seconds with Dale.
go.
Blonde or red? Ryan Smith, it's got to be red.
ginger.
Ginger.
Torpedo early on in your days, and did they ever work?
Always.
16 years, they reckon they never worked, and the forwards hated your guts.
Misinformation.
Did you ever get the inside mid or the inside ball or the outside ball?
Inside always. You're on the outside trying to get it.
Yeah, kidding, ain't you? Mates call you the mattress. Why do they call you the mattress?
Oh, this can't be good.
You
We're
told
not
me.
over the rest of the bar. We're not there.
Apparently it was when I got knocked out, was it?
I don't know.
I was laying on my feet, laying on the ground.
I heard it was about footy trip activities.
Oh, I don't know.
Mick Sullivan's love child.
Not his love child, but a good friend, mate. Mick Sullivan, he's a mentor, mate.
Would you have done anything for Mick Sullivan?
100%. Still will.
I know. I totally agree with that.
Still will.
Do you laugh at your own jokes?
No.
Rich.
All right. Yeah. As a player, who was better? Ryan Smith. Oh, sorry. Than you.
Yeah, probably. No, look, I was probably more levelled.
Well, you name Ryan Smith as a player then. Ryan Smith backs himself.
Ryan Smith, he won a Smith medal back then.
Okay.
So,
He's obviously better than you.
nah,
No, you're kidding.
the shit bloke. No, sorry.
You're like Andy Viola. Were you better than Andy Viola and tougher?
No, I wasn't tougher than Andy Viola.
Were you better than Andy?
Maybe over longevity.
He did.
No, he's probably sitting there having a can choking on his
He's probably just killed some little Indonesian.
Actually, Andy took me up Darwin, so
What about-
he's probably.
What about Mickey Sullivan as a player? Were you better than him?
Yeah, I was
You're better than him. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, Mick was an old bloke.
This bloke, if I say him, right, you might watch yourself when you go in the club rooms.
Who's that?
Johnny Burke. Were you better than Johnny Burke?
No, actually, Johnny Burke sort of lives in his own world. JB, if you're watching, mate, you're the best. Trust me.
He wouldn't be watching. He wouldn't. No way, no.
sure. Well, then
Now,
you'll be.
the last question is, right, who was the biggest pest? Like the biggest pest at Heidelberg? Was it Brock Walker or you?
Oh, definitely Brock Walker.
Oh,
All I know is, if that was 20 seconds, I shaved for 5 minutes.
definitely
Now I've got one more for you.
Heidelberg blokes big love and hate because he's a shit talker.
I got one more for you. I've got two for you. One is, who do you think's leading the Div 1 medal at the moment? Keys, Lentini, and who have I missed? There's so many.
Because
Keys
I don't think.
lined up.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think he'd be leading. Look, I know
He's got to
he's sort
share the
of.
votes with 22 other
Yeah,
states.
100%. There's 3 guys in the top vote getters at the
top
moment,
5
which Keezy,
Bunker.
yeah, Bunker,
Bunker.
Luke Bunker. He's just a
That's my pick.
Special player.
And there's one other
That's
one.
my pick.
What's his name? I'm trying to think of his other name. In the Coaches Awards.
Didn't Majid, what's it call it?
No, shut up, you idiot. Zane Barza.
Oh yeah, Barza. Yeah.
You know, so but they're taking votes off each other.
Yeah.
Tommy's not having a like. You know, Tommy came last year and he was a standout. And you have to really stand out.
Two
again.
match of the day.
Yeah, but also
recently.
3-2-1 is always Heidelberg though.
Yeah.
It's not like they're sharing with the other team.
No,
So,
That is true.
so the winner's coming from Heidelberg.
Yeah.
Well, Lentini for me is flying at mine. They're probably, even though they're not winning every game, they're winning enough games, and he's dominating most of them. And you know, obviously with Nash,
A known player as well.
Yeah,
he's just
taking all the votes,
fantastic
basically.
player.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be. My other one is there's a David Kernahan story. I just want you to I want you to educate our listeners. We've had plenty on tonight. It's a huge night. What happened with David Kernahan?
So
Did he chin you? Did he?
No, he didn't. Dave Kernahan, I think we're playing Northcote Park in a semi-final back in about 99, maybe, I think it was 99, and it was an all-in brawl at sort of just before three-quarter time. Anyhow,
You were on the outside and just
I was in the middle, and I thought someone hit me.
stop inside.
I turned around and I thought it was Dave Kernahan, so I give him a bit of a clip, and anyhow, he fainted, and then he fainted. So so we go to the three-quarter time huddle, and everything's good, and I think Andy was coaching his time. He goes, don't worry about that stuff. We've got a game wins. So I go back out to start of the fourth quarter in the middle, and I can't remember who was umpire. He said, listen, Dale, you got to leave the ground. I said, what for? He goes, well, you've been reported. So I said, okay. No,
Because he fainted.
Yeah, because he fainted. So, so
Dave Kernahan, Jesus Christ.
after the game, we end up losing, and we're sitting in the rooms, and Sticks Kernahan is
The big sticks.
yeah, Big Sticks is apparently
captain.
He's apparently knocking on the Heidelberg door saying, who's this Buxy guy telling to come in? And I'm sitting there thinking,
Is that why you're hiding in the toilet?
so I think he wants the autograph. I said, I don't think he's here for that. It's because you knocked his brother out. I said, okay, no worries, mate.
He fainted though.
Yeah, he fainted. Well, they all fainted.
Might have been crooked the week before or something. Oh, well, that is a ripper.
Food poison, matey.
That is a
Food
ripper story.
poison, yeah.
Now, JK, as we get into Divi 3, which we call the JK division now.
Yep.
Any news for me? Anything I need to know, or do you want to wait till we get into it?
No, there's not much going around. I've just got one for our good mate at Heidelberg West, Verdi. He's
dirty.
Yeah, he might have said today that he wanted to see me in the dunk tank with the weights on my legs.
With the white.
I will say this. I will say
That's worse than me.
he's been playing all year. He's kicked 9 goals in
Yep.
twos.
Yep.
And he bullied Epping a few weeks ago. I will be in front of him in the goal kicking in the league in 2 weeks.
Damn dirty.
So,
That's a good
Oh, he's a
challenge.
twos player as well.
yeah. So I'm just helping out the team, and he thinks he's the team.
So
I'm
what are
gonna
you
be
saying?
helping.
He's an Elmer.
I like
Elmer
it.
Fuss.
Yep. He just picks on the shit teams. Epping haven't won a game other than Laylaw.
Right.
I'm gonna be in front of him in the goal kicking
Well,
in 2 weeks.
So what's his first name? Daniel?
I actually don't know.
Go to the coffee shop and
Don't
come
know,
do
Bertie.
that every day.
Right, okay.
No, he's a good man, but yeah, he's thrown out the gauntlet with
Throwing
the
the
weights.
challenge out.
So I'm going to throw it to him and say, get a kick, and maybe
so
he can hold my bags one day.
He doesn't train too hard.
clearly someone's on the take here because someone said, Darren Hawke says, the good-looking bloke KB, or he's trying to say you're a good-looking bloke. He's clearly
Go bomber.
Yeah.
On the Hawk, you're a
got
legend.
his glasses on.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Grace agrees with me. Tom's having an amazing season, and he is. And she just reckons he takes the P155. And you're probably right. Yeah, I watched. It was my last question for you. I promise. I try to watch games back. I watch them in 2-speed, right? Because I'm doing some tagging and stuff at the moment for an app I'm about to release, and I watch their games. I actually think now, if you go back and you watch the Hurstbridge game on the weekend, how many times your forwards were unmanned up, and not just that, the game against Bundoora and the game before that. Who did you play the week before that? Was the South Morang game, right? Yep. I just don't think people can keep up with the intensity of Heidelberg. I think they're cooked by three-quarter times. I think they're run off their feet by three-quarter time. I think you guys are the destroying, soul-taking side in that last quarter. Can they be beaten? Will they drop a game this year?
In history says that they'll drop a game, but I think what you just said then is exactly what they just grind teams. They just keep putting the pressure on.
Down.
Some teams are going with them, and then it gets to the half time, and then it's just over.
Hurstbridge are up by 13 points during
Daz, you take this out of the competition. They have got the best team by a mile. It's not about fitness, mate. Look at the roster. It's not about the roster's unbelievable.
But you've got to keep
work with what you got.
100%.
Well, look at what they got.
Plenty of good size.
Isn't there 22 AFL blokes in the team, or we'll say the roster associated?
No, hang on. Let's kill this off really quickly.
Yeah.
Everyone's up for grabs at the end of the year. If they want to leave, they'll leave. If they want to go and chase $1,000 at another club, they could. If they're on 400 there and they can get 1,000, mate, I'd give Sammy Gilmore $1,000 a week at Bundoora all day, every day. It's not about that. He wants to be there.
Yeah, and there's a perfect opportunity. A point you just made with Sammy Gilmore. He's come back from parading, he's played with his brother.
Yeah, he did the right thing for a year. Beautiful.
You know, he won every medal you can possibly think of.
Yep.
And now he's back at Heidelberg and he's coaching the under-17s.
How good's that? Give him back straight away.
You know, all these guys, it's just...
AB's not happy.
Nah.
Well, Sammy's getting a bit of we'll say...
what? He doesn't need the coin.
He gets a fee for coaching the 17s as well. I got told.
No,
I'm there right now.
Turn it up. I've heard all of this. All right. Now, hump rounds done. So we're into the second half of the season. All right. I said hump round, and both these boys got excited.
Got excited.
Check your phone for Tinder.
They set it out. It was my notification.
We've been awaiting a Tinder message to come through. This hasn't come through. Apparently, someone's chasing Bugsy down. But anyway,
good bloke. We might have to go on a trip.
Happily married man. Let's get to Division 3. Jump straight in. Your opinion's worth absolute nothing, Kevin Brown. 10th versus 3rd. Old Eltham at home taking on Epping. I have the Pingers by 99.
Ooh, tough to win by a lot on that ground.
99 on the
boggy grounds.
In saying that, it's the CAF Carney Cup, so it's
and they're doing it for Floss. Is it Floss?
Floss, yeah. A massive shout out. She's officially retiring. She's been there for 40 plus years.
Fantastic.
And they're giving her a segment on the front bar. So this Saturday.
Wow.
Get down between 9 and 11. Yeah, big celebration for Floss, which is unreal. She's worked the canteen. Her husband Cole as well does the team managing still. So. Not bad. First time you've lost massive shout out and get down if you can.
So you want to repeat?
9 to 11.
I'm going. I'll go on for you too. The brownie.
9 to 11.
All right. So who have you got, Dale? Old Eltham versus Epping.
I've got Epping by 30 points.
30. Oh, that's.
What do you know that?
What do you got?
I'll say 35 as well. It's a tough ground to play on.
Yeah, I'm going a bit hard.
I'll play there. Yeah, it's hard to kick goals.
I'll get some hate.
I think Big Willow's going to kick 6 though against his old side.
All right, now before we go to round 2, one of our fantastic sponsors here. Let me have a look at it so I don't forget. We're actually ahead of time because we've shut KB up today. Footybanners.com. You'll see our great sponsors behind us. Dad's give away a free banner to deserve one. So all you've got to do is put in the comments or send me an inbox if you don't want it to be public about who's got an upcoming milestone. We're going to make it for seniors, this one. We've given away a junior one. So if you've got an upcoming milestone at a club.
Got one. Heidelberg.
Did you hear what I said?
Heidelberg West will win the next game.
Oh, no, Heidelberg West, they're shot.
Yeah.
That's a milestone.
You're just lucky there's no Division 4 because you'd be heading there. So anyway,
I'm just trying to get rid of the bloke.
So if you've got an upcoming milestone in the seniors, send it through, and not 100. I want to hear 200, 250, 300.
Bomber, 350.
350. We can make you one bomber and do it a week late or whatever it is. 351. That's a good one. So if the club wants to put in for it, let us know and do it. All right, next game. Fitzroy Stars. Are they over the salary cap, KB, do you reckon, or not? No, definitely not. All right, so
3 times.
Fitzroy Stars. I heard Max Brown signed his contract there for next year. Fitzroy Stars, first on the ladder, playing Reservoir, who have gone to 8th. I've got the Stars by 46 points. Dale?
Yeah, I've got the Stars by 10 goals, actually.
60 points. You're starting to sound like
Reza are much better than 8th. They pushed Lorimer. on the weekend.
Like
I'll say 40 points,
40
which is
points.
modest for
Best
Detroit.
Liberals team going around.
Reza. It's actually a good shout. It's spot on there. They've got some handy players that are well.
Trent Cotchin. He's playing against Layla, not against.
Maybe he's going to qualify.
No.
Serious?
No. I mean, he's one game. He's given back to his junior club, which we're pretty happy
Another
about.
club taking the piss out the comp.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. Any hate mail directed straight to kbrown@gmail.com. Don't send it to me. King Lake 4th on the ladder, having an outstanding season. The Lake, I'm very
You're
impressed
calling
with
them
them.
they're winning.
Straight to me. Well,
I haven't told you who they're playing yet.
I reckon
Versus Heidelberg West, who are 19th on the ladder.
King Lake.
I reckon we're actually a chance. Last year at home, we actually destroyed them.
Massive
Apart from
difference.
Florence, they haven't picked up too many, so I reckon we're a chance.
Yeah, you're a crackhead.
I'm going.
These blinkers are.
Any King Lake boys want to take him for a bet?
I'm going West by 6 points.
Anyone want to take him for a bet? I'll be taking that.
Dave Florence,
We should put $50 up on it. Give someone 5 goals in.
Well, we'll give 5 goals in.
Oh, you don't need to. So let's get our next guest.
You give me 5 goals.
Are you going to put? No, you find someone that's willing to come on against who wants. Surely there's a King Lake person out there willing to take it on and come and sit on the show next week.
Good.
Surely.
Dave Florence, or you can't.
Someone.
Why can't Dave Florence?
Connor Caldo, I reckon you'd be keen for it.
He can't. He can't yet. But all right. Well, the opportunity's out there for any King Lake person that wants to come and.
The White
sit on the
Brothers.
show. Oh, there you go. We can do it. So,
Oh, Whiteys.
who have you got, Dale? I've got King Lake by 54.
Yeah, I got King Lake by 50.
50 for Dale and
36.
JK, 36. All right. Far more smarter than. Now, I am supposed to show my head down there tomorrow night to the boys, and because they are trialing my new stats system. Good. So the boys down at West Heidelberg, thank you. A bit of promo on that coming up in the next couple of weeks. So then we've got move on to Laylaw, who are 11th, taking on Mernda, who are 6th. Now, Mernda's on the rise. I've got them by 100 on the dot. Dale?
I've got Mernda by about 25 points.
25 points against
25.
Laylaw.
Well, yeah, mate, Laylaw. I know they only. Well, you got to give him a chance.
You don't have to give him a chance.
But it's actually
What
sad
do you
that
get
they're
out
so
of
bad.
Mate, we say it's sad every week.
It's
We
fair.
love the bloke.
You can't keep.
If you want to
flogging
throw
them.
clearance to Bugsy,
Let's do it,
Bugsy
Reece.
will play.
We've got 4 minutes to wrap this show up. So tell me, how do we fix Laylaw? How do we fix it?
Well, I'll tell you, you fix them. They got to combine with someone.
Yep.
Simple as that. They need to merge with someone and start again.
They missed the boat. Should have done it with the reservoir.
Maybe they could do it with the Pingers.
No, we're not that bad yet.
If you're playing, they're not far off it.
Maybe Epping and Layla. Yeah, shit.
All right, 25 points you've given Laylaw. What do you got for me, JK?
JK, 75 Mernda.
75.
Lockie Evans' clearance went through as well,
I
so
did.
he's
He's
gone.
gone.
Yep, so obviously Mernda have picked up a bit of cash. They've picked up a bit of cash there because
They're going to pick up a new coach.
bit of safe
now.
cash.
Safe cash.
My mail is the deal is not done with Nipper either. It's not done.
Not
We
done.
said you said last week the deal was done with
So
Nipper.
you reckon Nibber's back to Bundoora?
I didn't say that. I just said the deal's not done with Nipper is what I've been told.
There was a meeting on Sunday.
No, let's not.
Are we
even-
starting? Are we starting rumours? Are we allowed to drop
no,
rumours?
yeah, well, he makes them up every week. You know,
You got a few.
I got a few rumours. So.
we can finish with a rumor if you've got a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so 2nd versus 7th. Lorimer 2nd on the ladder. For me, the only side that can knock off the Stars come grand final day. 26 points against Kilmore, who will play 7th. So I've got Lorimer by 26 points. What's happened?
Someone said, fix your mic, KB. Just talking shit.
No, it's working.
Do you hear me? Who is that?
All right, so 26 points.
Yeah,
Lorimer,
I've
Dale,
got Lorimer by 30, mate.
30. And what do you
Lorimer by
got,
35, and that would mean that the top 5 sides will all win this week, and the top 5
It's set.
is set. Other than obviously
I don't know who's got-
having the bye, but that's the top 5 will be set now.
All right.
That's it, done.
Now,
Locked in.
let's thank you very much for coming on today, Dale. It has been a pleasure to have you on, and you have lived up to all of the hype, except for the Tinder lady. Don't know what happened. But
I'll get on.
so very, very good. Please don't forget about your footy banner. If you want the footy banner special milestone, put it in. Doesn't have to just be for men's. Could be for women's. Could be anything. Footy banners makes it for everyone. Now finish with a rumour. Let's do the show. Give me the best rumour
Remember I
you've got.
mentioned about one of the big 4 clubs? Well, the rumour is
do I want to leave here?
one of the big four clubs, they're
Green slide.
sending messages out to players from other clubs trying to poach them, mate.
That's fine.
Not on.
It's on.
What's wrong?
Yeah, not on.
What
Not
do you
on, mate.
Who are they?
No, don't name him. Don't.
I'm not
don't
going to
even.
name them.
What's wrong with that?
It's just mid-season because
That's when you got to get us.
these guys are perennial sort of do shit things basically. And,
Right. There's a stab.
Well, it's going to be.
When's the right time, Dale?
when's the right time? At least when they, maybe finals.
But can
Maybe
I ask a
finals.
question? Didn't you take a lot of their players in the 19-2s, which you can't
No.
get across the line right
What are
now?
you talking about?
Your 19-2s right
No.
now, how they go?
Yeah, no, they're playing tomorrow. I think they're
Are they?
playing. Yeah,
So
so
they fought for the last week.
no, they there was a couple of sick players. So
went through the club.
no, they're playing tomorrow. So
I just hope your kids in the 19-2s, which I love, because a lot of the
You got 8
kids are
seconds, mate.
yeah,
a lot of the kids are your Max's mates. I hope they get across the
Yeah,
line and they
so-
play all the time.
no.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Until next week, keep kicking goals.
Have you ever seen a roo kick? Have you ever seen an emu run under the bright Aussie skies and said this year we'll be the one? Oi, oi, oi! What does it mean to be a part of a footy team?